Welcome along, folks. This is Michael Muter here on Western 102 FM. And on the line right now, I'm very, very excited to say that I have CaseyExplosion herself on the show today. Casey, who, if you don't know, is an Irish VTuber, videos game expert, influencer, expert. I suppose video games in video. Sorry, what is it again that you say? Videos game
Yeah,
influencer.
influencer.
That's his. Yeah,
Yeah,
but no, but you had a special way of saying video games, and it was like videos game.
videos game. Yeah,
That's it.
I have no idea why. I just like tweeted one time the plural of
Yeah,
video game is videos game, like attorneys general, and I
yeah.
just it
Anyway,
stuck around. It's
yeah. Well,
seems to be
Casey is
part of my shtick now.
yeah. Well, now you may know Casey as well from their persona, where you've got a sloth and a cow, and you're a very interesting person. They're very interesting, and the kind of person we'd have on this show. And I was like, I gotta get Casey on the show sometime. So finally, we have you on. Anyway, yes. So Twitch streamer extraordinaire. Anyway, let's get into it. So Casey, so I suppose where a lot of people maybe know you from best is Twitter, and you got a big cult following, I'd say, on Twitter. Why did I say
I
cult following? I should have just said following. I don't know why I threw in cult. I was like, what are you talking about?
well,
Why did you say
well,
cult?
yeah. No, I'm not a cult, but
No,
no, I'm okay. I'm okay with cult
I just
following. I mean,
misspoke. Really, it's what
no,
happened.
no, no,
Why
no.
did
It's
you
fine
say
because
that?
like I exist in a fairly niche area, like
Okay,
the whole weird Twitter, weird furry video
maybe.
game side of
Yeah.
things. So I'm
I mean, everyone
I'm
has
not
an
exactly
avatar on Twitter.
mainstream.
I
Hmm.
suppose, yeah. You're gonna get. I think you're getting there. I think you're getting there. If you want that to be the way you're going, but
I
I
I don't
suppose
I don't know. I don't want to get too big.
no.
That's
Um, sorry, go on.
that's scary.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'd like that either, no. But well, I suppose where people might know you from is from Twitter. I should have said, and you have a big following on Twitter where people go to you for video game. What is a good video game to play? They go, well, we'll go to Casey, see what she's talking about this week, see what she's talking about today, and what are you talking about this week? So I think that's where you kind of started off from, wasn't it? Or did you start the streaming first, or which way did it go?
I think I actually started my Twitch account first, and then wasn't really able to do much at the
Mhm,
time. I got very burnt out and kind of just kind of found Twitter fine.
mhm,
It's okay. It's not the best medium.
yeah,
It's not the best platform, but
mhm,
I'm somebody who has a lot of limited energy.
yeah.
Very like I suffer with some chronic fatigue and chronic pain, and so for very kind of like small bite-sized little little bite-sized little thingy bobs,
Mhm.
I found it very easy platform to sort of to write on and
Yeah,
to express myself on.
yeah. Little bite-sized chunks, and it's great like that.
Yeah,
Like, and then people can share it around and stuff like that. Bit
a
better than
little
blogging back in the
bite-sized
day.
chungus.
Yeah, chungus, yes. Um, never mind. Let's not even get into the whole origin of that word. I was watching a Jim
Please
Sterling
don't. It's
video, Jim
horrible.
Sterling video. Yes, yes. But of course now we've got the anyway. It doesn't. Let's not get into that. We're going on a rabbit hole. No, get out of here, Michael. Um, well, actually, I want to ask you about Twitch and your well, you've started using your persona as a VTuber model. I suppose that people don't
Yeah,
know a VTuber is a virtual YouTuber. That's what I started. It was YouTuber or Twitch, and it's become a massive thing in the last year and this year. You know,
yeah.
yeah. It's like I think it's very liberating for people because you can appear on stream, you've got a face on stream, you're able to express yourself facially and everything like that, but it's not
Yeah,
your own personal face. You feel like there's a layer of security, I think, for a lot of people.
that's exactly it. I
Mm.
I kind of I kind of like I'm not the most confident person in the world,
Mhm.
and again, like I have my health struggles, and I don't like to. I wouldn't be appearing on camera in front of a lot of people.
It's not for everyone.
Generally, I don't
Yeah.
know, and
No.
I probably get very anxious about that. But
Mhm.
to have, it's a character that represents me,
Mhm.
and that's there is a degree of separation there. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you can have that personality, and it's a
Yeah.
strong personality as well.
Mhm.
So
And it
you
definitely
know,
comes true when you're watching your streams, you know.
thank you.
Yeah.
And shout out to Crowbob on Twitter as well, who did the face rig avatars,
wow, yeah.
and amazing
It's brilliant.
artist.
Yeah. It's
So
fantastic.
I'm very lucky to have a lot of great artists who do fantastic stuff for me.
Yeah.
You know, always
Yeah.
happy about that.
It was great. I'd heard of VTubers for a while, but it was people like yourself and I think Sean on Twitter, and he makes YouTube's on Twitch. He's the Skull guy,
Yeah,
everyone knows him. But I know I think you're pals with him, I think. But
yeah, he's
he was
nice.
talking about VTubers, and I was like, "What's a VTuber?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, these people that have like the face rig stuff." I had heard about it since around 2016, and I was like, "That sounds like something I'd like to do," because I'm not a huge fan of being on camera. So I was like,
Hmm.
I kind of like to do that because that's why I got into radio, because I'm like, I don't have to be on camera and I can just be as expressive as I want. And I
Yeah.
was like, that sounds pretty cool. And then my computer doesn't really run it, but the kind of software you'd need. But yeah, I got into like there's a few of them that are, and it's like you hear about their stories and who they are and what their difficulties are and why they wouldn't feel like to be able to go on camera because of health issues, like you say. Or there was one Iron Mouse, and she has to be in bed all the time, and she's not able to
Oh,
leave her house. But if you would know it from her Twitch, because she's so expressive and so outgoing and talks about herself and all kinds of stuff, and it's fantastic,
it's lovely.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, there are so many wonderful streamers
Mhm.
and creators that I can't keep up with all of them.
No,
I don't
no.
know.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm going to be a little at a loss.
I know. There's a lot out there's a lot. There's like, I think
Hmm.
100,000 around there, and that might only be who signed up with these organizations and stuff like that. So it's like there's a lot.
Wow.
So there's like one guy is a lamp. There's a guy that's a lamp, and he's a VTuber, and there's one that's a gun, and there's a VTuber. So
Okay.
there's a lot. There's a
Of
lot.
course,
Yeah.
there's a VTuber that's a gun.
It has a
Why
gun, and
wouldn't there
it's
be?
it's fantastic. But your character is interesting because you've got a sloth, but also a
Yeah.
cow. Yes, you switch between the
Yeah.
two. Even on stream, you switch between the two.
Yeah. It's fun
Yeah.
because
Now
you get
what's the? Yeah.
what
Sorry.
what?
No, I was gonna say, what's the origin of the sloth and the cow avatars?
Okay, so the origin is fairly simple. I think
Mhm.
I've been like in my time on Twitter, I've been very on the peripheries of the whole furry community
Mhm.
because I don't know if you know this, but a lot of furries are LGBT
Mhm.
because the whole furry community it's basically a very very queer friendly
Yeah.
nerd space.
Yeah.
And
Totally. Totally.
I think people don't really get that
Yeah.
it's a space,
I think as
that's
well, we should say a lot of people when they hear about furries, you go, "Is this a sexual thing?" I think for some people it
yeah,
is, but I don't think that's the case for you. I think it's just like it's just
no, it's
you like the avatar, you like the
yeah,
thing,
but
you know.
well,
For most people.
the thing is like the like the the whole thing with that CSI episode where there's all these like there's they investigate a crime at a furry convention,
Yeah.
and like
Okay.
halfway through the episode, there's basically a big furry
Oh,
pile,
oh, okay. All
and
right.
like
Community,
that is
family
weird as
friendly community
hell.
radio.
Oh, I'm sorry. You
No,
can
it's fine.
mute that.
I don't think anything happened. If anything actually heard anything, so that's okay. Cut out a little
Are
bit,
we
actually, really.
live?
No. This isn't live. No, don't worry. I wouldn't let you.
Oh,
This
thank
is
God.
recorded. This is pre-recorded. No, not at all. I wouldn't let you. That'd be
Okay.
crazy. No, not at all. I couldn't do it live.
Oh God.
Anyway, sorry. Yeah, go on. Anyway. But yeah, no,
But
I wanted to talk about that because I think a lot of people when they hear furry, they go, "Oh, is that why it's like LGBT
yeah.
thing and stuff?" It's like, no, it's more like the anonymity as well. To be yourself
I,
more in public.
I think it can be very very communicative in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So, for example, the as you were asking, the origins of
Yep.
the sloth persona
Hmm.
was I was on the periphery of the Twitter furry community for a while, and
Hmm.
lots of friends who were queer, who
Hmm.
also happened to be furries, and I was always kind of around them, and not
Yeah.
really, never really found you know the desire to pop into the whole community myself, because
Hmm.
I never really found anything that I clicked with
Yeah.
in terms, like, until I asked on Twitter if I was a furry, what animal would I be?
Hmm.
And somebody suggested a two-toed sloth because you already have the boots.
I
And
think I saw
I
you
was just
tweet about
like,
that the other day. Yeah. Did you retweet or
I
something
was
the other
like,
day?
I think I might have mentioned it another
Yeah.
time.
Oh, maybe that was yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, damn, that instantly it was like, that's me.
Mm.
That's perfect. That's it. The entire persona, the furry
Yeah.
persona,
Yeah.
the persona,
Yeah.
just instantly came into being
Hmm.
right there and then. And
Hmm.
it's like, because like I liked the way that it communicated that I was extremely tired all of the time, and I was like, wow, the entire thing just clicked
Hmm.
into place with me, with and kind of getting how a lot of people who have personas
Yeah.
use it to express something about themselves, or communicate something about themselves, or project something about themselves.
Hmm.
So, you know, you have people who have dog or cat personas, fairly
Yep.
common.
Yep.
You know, that like, because everybody gets what dogs or cats are like,
Yep.
and
Yep.
like, you want to portray something kind of like happy and outgoing and something like that.
Yeah.
And I think this it's it's this really 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 um potent non-verbal communication, and I find that
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. If you see Casey's your avatar, you go, it's probably fairly chill. And you go onto your stream, you go, oh, this is pretty chill. Yeah,
Yeah,
it matches up.
it's
Yeah.
I I I hate the way everything is brand
Yeah.
now, but it
Yes.
is a strong brand.
It's
It
pretty
it
good.
it can, yeah, it conveys a
Yes.
lot of information. I love it's a pun as well. It's a goth sloth. So you've
I
got
didn't
like
get this. Wow. Okay.
yeah.
Right.
So
Of
like the white face with the black eye stripes is kind of like
course.
gothy makeup as well.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
liked it just clicked into place.
Yeah.
And then for some for the cow, then
Yes, a Frisian
sometimes
cow.
sometimes I'll just say, yeah, it's a cow now, why
Yeah.
not? And
It seems very Irishy, a cow. Even though there's
yeah,
cows
it
all over the
does a
world,
little.
something about I thought, is that why? Yeah.
I don't think it's why, but
Okay.
somebody on Twitter made some tweet, and I said about do you ever think what you'd do if you turned into a cow? And I replied to that saying, yep. And then, like, within a day, somebody had drawn artwork
This is what I
of
love, by the way. Yes.
yeah, it's
The furry
incredibly creative.
community, the fan art that comes out is absolutely amazing. The fan art
Hmm.
people have done of Casey is absolutely fantastic. I think you should have a hashtag or something people can share it, people can see because it's
I
absolutely beautiful.
people do lovely fan art, but I commission a lot of artists as well.
Mhm.
So I'm very kind of like, try and support a lot, because a lot, like, as I mentioned before, there's a lot of LGBT
Yep.
people in the furry
Yep.
community. So I'll go out of my way to support a lot of trans artists
Yep.
and things like that. So a lot of I use furry art as my stream backgrounds and everything.
Yep.
So I have one piece of art that is me as the main character in Sekiro.
That is so
That
cool.
is,
That is a very
I know,
cool piece.
it's
That is
phenomenal.
awesome. That is so cool.
And
Yeah.
I think that Knucklebone is the name of the artist
Okay. Wow, that's
on
a good
Twitter.
name.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
give them a follow. They're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
So
cool.
there's a lot, there's amazing artwork out there. And
Yeah.
so to answer the question about the
Yeah.
cow, it's like, why a cow?
Yeah.
It seems good vibes.
It
And
is.
it's like,
It's
oh,
slightly
I like
similar to a
it.
sloth, where they're not quick moving. They're chill. They hang out. They're
Yeah.
like yeah. They let
And
you know what's going on. They go moo. So you go, oh, they're telling me something. I see.
and it just opens itself up for so much more puns.
Yeah. Oh, of course, because CaseyExplosion.
So
Now that's the other thing.
and
Where did CaseyExplosion? Where did that come from? The
that
explosion
started
part.
the explosion part is because I could not decide at all. I when I first started trying to be a Twitch streamer and
Yeah.
like an online gamer and things like that, I could
Yeah.
not for the life of me figure out what a cool name would be. And I was watching a lot of Metalocalypse at the time. I loved the show.
Yeah,
Big
the Adult
fan.
Swim show, for people that don't know, is about a metal band, obviously based on the
Yeah.
name. Yeah.
Yeah. So the singer of the band Death Clock in Metalocalypse is named Nathan Explosion, and I was just like, screw it, let's do that.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty good.
I could have just been as easily been Casey Murderface or
Casey
like
Pickle. Isn't Pickle one of the guys in that?
Pickles, the drummer.
Yeah, Pickles, the drummer. Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time now. But yeah, so wow, there we go. So
I kind of am I was fairly indifferent to it because I didn't like, but I've grown to like it a lot because it, like, the explosion is just like, I'm very not explosive at all.
I like that though. That's
like
it's very good. It's like if you were explosive, you go, all right, that's too on the nose. Whereas this is like, no, that's good. That's good. There's something about it. It's like it's a juxtaposition. It's good.
Yeah.
Juxtaposition's the right word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. Right. So the other thing I want to ask you was, you call yourself a games influencer. You try to influence people to get certain games, more indie kind of games, usually more stuff like that. So what was the first game? I think I've asked you this on Twitch the other day, but what was, because if you don't know, I watch Casey a lot on Twitch. Maybe you stream quite late though, so I kind of hop in for a bit and I go, okay, actually I'm really tired, I gotta go. But it's really nice to watch before. Oh, sorry. It's really nice to watch before you go to bed because it's so chill, so nice. No matter what you're playing, it's like, oh, that's great fun. Or you're good at games. But anyway, so what was the first game, if you can remember, that you were like, I really want people to know about this game. I'm going to try influence people to get this game and know about this game and that kind of thing?
I don't know.
Oh, fair enough. I was like, what are the chances?
I don't think that was a decision. I think like I was playing a lot of games at the time when people were suggesting, you play a lot of games, you should do this.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't wanna. Nah, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Because at the time, everybody was very, like, if you're a streamer, you were very loud, you were very animated, you were very excited, very over the top all of the time.
Yeah.
And I remember when I first tried to start streaming, I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, I really, really, there was like no way that I could generate that level of excitement and force myself to be as over the top and
Yeah.
animated and um like you know
I,
what I mean. Like if
I
you
was
ever
just
watch
thinking it's very ironic that when you became more subdued, you actually became and more yourself, I should say. You actually
yeah.
became an animated character.
Yeah. So I did
I
become
got you
more
mean.
animated, but
Yeah, in a different way.
um yeah, but
But yeah.
like for example, if you've never like if you don't know the kind of like just as a touch point, somebody like Jacksepticeye, you know,
Yes,
very,
yes.
very, very whoosh in your face kind
You
of
turn on the first stream, it's like whoosh, top of the morning to you,
yeah.
lad. It's like, all right, I turned it off the first time. I was like, no, not for me. He's a nice person. He's
I
very good, but it's just I was at first like,
I don't know him.
yep. Seems like a
People,
nice
in
lad.
fact, he does, but
Yeah,
I just wanted to. I don't know. Not everybody
yeah.
in Ireland knows each other because
No,
I
no,
do
no.
get it because I'm Irish, because
Yeah,
I'm a gamer,
yeah,
because I'm in the public eye. It's
yeah,
little. I'm like, oh, do you know Jacksepticeye? You get from like
yeah.
I don't think he even lives in Ireland anymore. Is he
I
living in
don't
the
know actually.
UK?
It's probably
I
yeah, or
don't know
America or
either,
somewhere. I
but
think I don't know. Yeah.
hmm, I
Anyway,
have no idea. No,
yeah.
so we don't all know each
Anyway,
other.
high
Um,
energy is the default. You are not going to do that. So
yeah, I
yeah,
kind of just settled in where I was like, I I was at a time where I hated like not hated, but
yeah,
I really just did not like the fake screaming at the at stuff
yeah.
kind of content
That
creators,
yeah,
which was at the time was
hmm
like early 2010s
yeah.
was a lot.
It's everything.
And
Yeah,
I
it
was
was,
like, I was kind of like, in, you know, why am I trying to, why am I, what, why would I even want to
yeah.
try and match that kind of
No,
exhaustive over the topness when I don't even like that content? I
yeah,
would be, you know, be watching. I started getting into a lot of I suppose more chilled out YouTubers as well,
yeah,
like Sean, for example.
yeah.
Sean is a great example of somebody
Yeah,
who,
I would put you two in the same kind of category as chill VTubers, chill streamers, where I was
yeah,
going through a terrible anxiety phase here. This is a while back, and I found these streams and I was like, okay, this is actually exactly what I needed. I didn't need
yeah.
shouting. I didn't need anything. I just needed someone just to got a nice chill time. And then I found you as well around the same time. I think I saw you on
Oh,
Twitter for a
that's
while,
lovely.
but I think maybe you'd rated you or something. And I was,
Hmm.
this is another one. Now. This is another person. Now. I'm gonna really enjoy listening to them and really enjoy watching them play games and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's a
I
fantastic
think
thing.
this. Yeah, I'm glad I got into it because the amount of people then who tell me, "Oh, I didn't realize that this could be a thing. I want to try
Yes.
it now." You know, I don't have to be
Yeah.
trying to be over the top
Yeah.
and you know
It's be yourself,
the
really, at the end of the
shouty.
day, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah. It's be
it
whatever
is,
you
and
feel. Yeah.
like so many other smaller streamers and people that I now look up to and admire, and I'm like,
Mm.
I but me start was your influence? And it's like
Yeah.
I didn't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wow, have I really? So now there's a lot more relaxed kind
Yeah.
of like gamers who are
Hmm.
playing on like a lot more like LGBT streamers who are
Yeah.
kind of doing their own thing and
Hmm.
being a lot more chill about it and a lot more
Yeah.
relaxed and not having to, I suppose, to try and appeal to what is what is seen as the mainstream
Yeah.
gaming audience. And I think that
Probably
has
not.
benefited me in a
Yeah.
lot of ways because I think there is it is it's created an audience where there wasn't quite one before, that a lot
Hmm.
of people just didn't like
Yeah.
where streaming was a few years ago. And, you know, so there's
Yeah.
lots
I
of
didn't.
little. little
Yeah,
creators.
totally. No, I was gonna just say there. I saw Twitch years ago, and I was like, no, not really for me. It seemed like too. There wasn't a lot of emphasis on the chat part of it. There wasn't a lot of emphasis on. It was, as you say, like, going, "Hey, we're here and we're doing it." It's like, all right,
It's very
okay,
aggro.
you're
Yeah.
playing Super Mario. Like, you don't have to get so excited about it. But like yourself, then I find people like yourself, and I go, this is more my kind of stream. I like kind of people that just are there for a chat and a serious conversation. But
Yeah.
feel like you're listening to a grown up, Nothing against those people. They're not bad people. I'm just saying, like, it's just like,
It's a different audience.
yeah, it's a different thing. Yeah, I wouldn't really, it's not for me. Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm still fairly small beans compared to somebody
Yeah.
who would be a very very popular
Yeah.
streamer, like who would have views in the tens of
Yeah.
thousands at a time, and I'm like lucky if I can get about 100. That's a nice
But hey,
that's a
look, you're
nice
able to read
stream for
all the
me.
chat. You're engaging with everyone on chat.
Yeah,
Whereas I think big streams, you're like you'd comment, you go like, no, they didn't see. That's okay.
the comments are gone. You can't
Yeah.
you can't even read them.
No,
It's like
no, it's
it's no
crazy.
fun to be in the chat.
No.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
kind of
engage
prefer
actually.
like
I don't
small.
engage with bigger chats. Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
Anyway, but yeah, so well, I suppose the other thing people might know you from is you appeared in Jim Stephanie Sterling's video lately, where you were talking about
Yeah,
videos game. Sorry.
yeah.
But yeah, that was
I
great.
thank you.
Yeah, that
I
was
I
really cool. Sorry.
that happened very quickly, and I was very very glad of the opportunity. I think that helped me out a lot.
I mean,
So
you've been on their podcast and stuff like that, and and they've been on your stream and things like that before.
yeah.
And if you don't know, by the way, folks, if you don't know Jim Stephanie Sterling stuff, look it up because they've got some great stuff about like the video game industry and stuff like that, and really like
Hmm.
about loot boxes for years. They've been giving out about loot boxes, so definitely someone
Oh
else needs
yeah,
to go. Yeah, it's spot on.
yeah. I think that's something we should absolutely talk about, because the
Yeah,
whole loot box thing, like we're getting studies now that confirm a lot of what they were saying for years. Like,
yeah,
oh, this is a serious health hazard in
hmm
the sense that it is, giving children problem gambling addictions. And we have loads of stories about how you know kids are emptying their parents'
yeah. That's the
bank
thing.
accounts
I know
through
a
through
lot of
these
parents
through
listen to
these
this. I
apps.
think you'd want to be like very careful what's going on, and with these kind of things, it's like
Hmm.
because it happened to a friend of mine where they're. But anyway, that's we're
No,
gonna.
tell me,
No, but
tell
it
me.
was
I
just
want
like
I want to know.
a basically was it Xbox or something and
Yeah.
microtransactions and loot box and all kinds of stuff like that. And next thing they're like, oh, they've spent a ton of money on this stuff. And it's like, why?
Is my
You've
rent
already
gone?
bought the game. That should be, I don't know. There's a whole discussion
I
about
think
that. And
there is a huge discussion to be had
yeah,
about that, because I think a lot of the more sensationalist kind of stories we'll hear about is, you know kids have kids have spent their
yeah,
parents' life savings
yeah,
with Fortnite or
yeah,
something like that, or
mhm,
FIFA, or
yeah,
stuff like that. But what we don't hear about that, like we hear about that because it's a very, very shocking story. But what we don't hear about is the sort of average person who
yeah,
gets preyed upon by these predatory
yeah,
microtransactions and loot boxes and gambling mechanics,
yeah,
who, oh crap, there's my rent. How am I
yeah,
going to pay for food now?
yeah,
Because it's done in a very sinister way.
yeah. No, the reason I was saying we won't get in it because I was like, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're very busy, so I don't want to,
I made time today. I'm
Okay,
all
that's
good.
perfect. So, right, but
Have me
that
as
is
long
the
as you
thing.
want me.
So, great. What I was gonna say was, oh yes. So, the only thing I had a note about is the only thing that was wrong. Well, I was like, oh, we're gonna see Casey's VTuber on the no, just the voice. That was the only
Oh, hang
criticism.
on.
The only criticism I had. No, I'm
Oh,
on your Jim Stephanie Sterling's video. I mean.
yeah.
Yes, that was the only. I was like, oh, that's
Oh,
the only thing.
you know what? I got out the green screen, and because I have the actual head as well,
Yes,
and I took that out for,
we should
but it was
say.
done so quickly.
Casey has, not wearing it now, but in your imagination, they're a sloth right now. Okay, if that's what you want to believe, that's what you want to believe. Anyway, because this is not a visual me, so however you want to imagine Casey's a cow or whatever, because that's actually how I go. Okay, that's a giant sloth that's playing this game. But no, but you have a fursuit as well.
Well,
Is it a fursuit?
I
Or what is it called?
fursuit head. So
Fursuit
the
head. Oh,
fursuit is the full costume,
yeah.
like you see at the conventions and
Yes,
things
yes,
like
yes.
that, and
Yeah.
you know, like think like big mascot costumes, kind of
Yeah.
like that.
And your one is
But I
fantastic.
thank you so much.
It
A,
looks
a
like something
lot.
from the Jim Henson Company or something. It's absolutely fantastic.
Oh
Gorgeous. Like
wow! That oh, thank you.
it's
That's really
yeah.
kind of you to say. But
Huh.
I like because of like health issues. I get too warm and too
Yeah.
tired and too exhausted
Yeah.
wearing something like the very idea of wearing a fursuit at a
Yeah.
convention or whatever
Hmm.
kind of like oh I die in one of those.
Yeah. I think like when
Just
you
the head
yes.
that I can manage. So
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
so like, and didn't get a chance to unfortunately go to any kind of conventions or anything
No.
because of
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was very disappointed.
By the way, you can say on here because the reason, Casey, I think the reason maybe you didn't say it was because of YouTube. You get demonetized and stuff like that if you mention COVID. But
Oh,
here you
I
can.
didn't.
Okay.
I didn't think that. I
Oh,
barely
sorry.
do YouTube, so I'm like,
Anyway, but yeah, so that was the other thing I was going to ask you. Actually, have you ever thought of making like just YouTube videos yourself, where you're just like edited,
yes,
written, and yeah,
I have, and I think that you see that's another that's the thing that I did try that at some point, and I found with health the way it
yep,
is, I my concentration just while it isn't there for scripting,
mm-hmm.
recording, editing, and such likes that I like it
Yeah,
just didn't happen.
yeah,
So I
oh,
could do maybe I do a short video and then it's like
that's enough.
burnout.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
I get you.
like with the live stuff, I don't have to obsess over it. It's just happening.
Yeah, yeah. That's actually yeah. That's one of the things I love
Do you
about
know?
doing live stuff. Is that actually where you're just like, it's the momentum of it. You're like, well, I can't stop. I got to keep going now, regardless whatever happens. I just got to keep going. And you're getting propelled by everyone else's reactions and stuff like that. You're like, going, okay, I'm just going to keep going now, and then I'll hit the time will end. The Twitch is different, but on radio, will say you're just like, I just got to keep going, and I got to keep talking, regardless what happens.
Mm.
The music mightn't play, the game mightn't play for you, but you're going to say, well, I'm going to just keep talking, and it's kind of
So
I think
well,
keeps going.
sometimes I just get like I'm very lucky that I have a very nice audience, very wonderful
Oh, they're
audience.
beautiful. It's a lovely
You should know
community you've
you're
got
one of
there.
them.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a lovely
But
little
I
community
think
there.
like a lot of like people will be very understanding that yeah, I've got health issues. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm so sorry, I
Yep,
have to stop.
yep,
I'm crashing.
yep.
Like my sometimes I get very tired very fast.
Hmm.
I feel it coming on,
Right.
and I like start to slur my words
Yeah.
and just have a really horrible time concentrating, and I just say, I'm sorry, I have to stop.
Do you want to maybe talk about
And
that, about your health issues? Is there like a name or is it just like a generic thing? And also, by the way, if you want to stop this interview at any time, you can just say, I'm too tired. I'm not going to carry on anymore.
no, I'm
Okay.
good. I have my coffee and I'm good.
Oh, perfect.
No, I don't, it's all good. So
Yeah.
I'm suffering from
Only if you're
from
comfortable talking about this, by the way. Only if you want to.
I'm
You don't have
very
to.
comfortable
Okay, okay,
talking
okay, okay.
about
Okay.
this
Sorry.
because I have it is something
Yep.
that I do talk
Yep.
about, that I'm very
Oh, yeah, that's
public
true. That's
about,
true. Yeah.
and I think that a lot it's you know
Yeah.
to quote Bob Hoskins, it's good to talk.
Yeah.
Um, so I have a pretty pretty bad anxiety disorder. Um, but the main thing that I struggle with the most is the chronic fatigue
Mhm.
and chronic pain that comes with that. And this is
Yeah.
actually going to tie in a little bit with
Mhm.
the COVID problem,
Of course.
because like a number of years ago, I got very, very sick
Mhm.
with glandular fever. And I was,
Mm.
that hit me hard as hell.
Yeah.
And it came to the point like where I felt like my throat was closing up, and
Ooh.
I couldn't, it was too painful to eat
Yeah.
without first taking anti-inflammatories. And it was one of the most painful things that I've ever gone through in my life.
Wow.
And the I've never fully recovered from that, because
Okay.
one of the common like side effects is um, a post-viral syndrome.
Yeah.
So the fatigue, the chronic pain, it's been with me for years after that illness.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are going to be coming out of this pandemic struggling with similar issues.
Yeah, we're seeing that already. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're talking now about, long COVID
Yep.
and people having a lot of health issues
Mhm.
after they've recovered. A lot of people now are talking about. I believe it was I can't remember the name. Some sports person saying how they need an inhaler now before they do any kind of activity.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, take this seriously.
Yeah, keep safe out there, folks. I know everyone that listens to this is known fairness, but you know,
Mm,
but yeah, no, it's no harm. Just kind of go, hey, the vaccines are coming up, but let's not get crazy out there,
yeah. I'd say you don't want to, yeah, you don't want these
No,
kind of health issues then.
no. Well, I'm glad you're okay though. I'm glad you're able to just keep going and able to keep streaming, and you're happy. It seems
Mm.
anyway. What you're doing, so that's good.
I'm incredibly happy with it, because it's like I'm really not able to do a lot of stuff. A lot of the things that I used to do, I don't have the energy or
Mhm.
the mental energy and
Yeah.
concentration to do anymore. I used to
Mm.
play guitar all the time. I was studying Japanese a few years back, and I just, like, my concentration has been shot after it.
Yeah.
And just like my like I was a lot more physically active, so I've been really struggling. And I think
Yeah.
the streaming is something that is, it's really amazing that it is something that I'm able to do. And I think a lot of the
Yeah.
time it does it takes a lot out of me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie about that. It's
Mhm.
like I will be exhausted. And I suppose people think like, well, what's so tiring about that? You're just playing games. And
Yeah.
it's not so much. You're not just playing games.
No.
You're also, holding conversations with the chat. You're constantly on
Yeah. Yes.
while you're streaming. And
Yeah.
it is a very different kind of headspace to be in.
Yeah.
Whether when like you're not just sitting back and relaxing and playing a game.
Mm.
You're being an entertainer for
Yeah.
other people.
Because when you play a
And
game, normally you're just like, I'm not even gonna move my face. I'm just gonna sit
yeah,
here, video, play this game. Whereas if you're on Twitch, it's like, as you say, you're like, you've got to be you're like a radio presenter and you're playing a game. So it's very complicated, and you're replying to chat as it goes by, and you're probably like
yeah,
checking all your settings to make sure everything's going out okay. And it's not like, okay, all right, it's encoding. What does
yeah.
that mean? you know? Because that's what I find with whenever I go streaming on Twitch every now and again, it's
Mm.
like I'm trying to go, okay, right, the frames have dropped. It's down to like 2 frames a second. Oh
Oh
no.
no, what's happened?
Yeah.
And sometimes it's out of your control, and
Yeah.
like technical issues happen. And
Yeah.
I'm lucky that I stumbled into it early on, that
Mhm.
no matter what goes wrong, people find it entertaining.
Yeah.
There's this if something messes up,
Mhm.
something's gone wrong,
Yeah.
it can be a little drama,
Yes, that's the thing. Yeah, people get over
when you
people.
find
Yeah,
people get very invested in whether
totally.
what's
Yeah.
gone wrong and what's
Yes.
happened. Are you going to fix it? How's it
Yeah.
going to happen? When what's so
This is how you know, folks, by the way. This is how you know someone is a great presenter. If everything goes wrong and they're able to keep talking and keep the show going, that's a great. Whereas I've seen it a lot of times, people go, uh, well, and it's shut down, and it's no harm to them. It's like, sure, this happens. But if you have to keep going and keep talking, it's like, there you go, you got it. It was happening to a
oh,
priest a
that's
while
nice.
back where there's some music came up and it wasn't supposed to be, it was like some hip hop song or something. He was live streaming, he was like, laughed it off, and oh well, and you do too, and it's like, it's fantastic, like, that's how you know you're a good
Yeah,
presenter.
I to me it seems kind of amateurish. Like people call me a
No,
professional,
no,
and I'm
no,
like,
no, no.
I
It,
I muddle
no,
through.
let's not be silly here. It doesn't seem amateurish at all. Come on, come on, come on. How much you raised
No,
for charity not that long ago? Yeah, okay, okay. That's enough.
I don't know.
Enough false modesty,
This
Casey.
No, I mean it. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
like I don't think I have like this. I don't have the understanding and
yeah.
professionalism that a lot of other streamers have, and I think that
But you're
it's like
doing
people.
more than more
But
streamers. Must be. Yeah, so this is what I did today. And it's just like cameras. You've got like a face rig. You've got all this gubbins going
yeah,
on.
but a lot of other streams will have whole production teams to
Yeah,
them, and
that's the thing.
this
Yeah,
like for me, it's just me, and
yep.
I kind of it's there's nobody else behind the scenes,
Yeah.
apart from the moderators in the chat who do
Yes.
like,
That's
but
something
like
maybe
in
we
the
could talk about actually. Is
yes.
moderators, because I don't think people understand about this. When you are on Twitch, folks, a lot, not all, but a lot of streamers have moderators, and moderators are basically they're
Hmm.
going, okay, that's a horrible thing to say. Goodbye. And Casey, I'm sure you have your own rules, and the moderators know this. You say something
Yeah,
horrible, you say something bigoted or something, you're out.
well, they're
That's it.
gone.
You have to deal with
Yeah,
it. No.
I think the thing about that is like I don't seem to attract a very hostile audience anyway, who like, and but we do have moderators in the chat who are
Yeah.
very quick on the ball to get any kind of negative comments,
Yeah.
anything
The
nasty,
rare occasion I've ever
bigoted.
seen it, it's always gone before I ever see what it was.
Mm.
You're very, very quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's that I don't get a chance to react to it
Mhm.
half the time, and I'm like, I might check in the thing afterwards,
Yeah.
and oh, I'm so sorry about
Don't
that.
worry at all. Don't worry at all.
I had a big cup of coffee.
We can edit all this. Don't worry at all.
Don't
We're
edit
fine.
it. Don't edit it
Okay,
out.
perfect.
It's
Perfect.
raw and
Casey
real.
burps. That's what happened.
I'm not that long awake. I keep late hours.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask actually about the streaming area and about this interview, because I was worried. I was like, well, if I ask her to go on too early, am I going to ask too early? So I said, okay, later in the evening, because you do stream
Yeah,
quite late, you know. Well, not
yeah.
quite late. It's like late for me. It's like 10 o'clock or something
It's evening
usually.
time.
Yeah,
I
evening time. Yeah.
evening time. So I try, like, my schedule is meant to be 8 p.m. to 12 p.m.,
Hmm.
but I am often late for my own streams. I'm late
Yeah.
starting, which again, I have a very understanding audience who are
Yes.
there for me. So I'm often like an hour late or something like that.
Hmm.
So sometimes I won't even start until 9 o'clock.
Hmm.
Just it is. I do go quite late sometimes
Yeah.
because it's just the kind of hours I keep anyway. I just kind of settle
Yeah.
into it. I've never been a morning person, and especially with the fatigue, it takes me a lot longer to wake up than it used to.
Yeah.
And for especially if I have a flare up of pain,
Mhm.
I could wake up in a lot of pain and kind of just have to just wait for that to
Yeah.
subside before I can do anything. So
Mhm.
sometimes I'm just like, I do not have I don't have the ability to kind of be there in the
Yeah.
morning.
Well, I mean, this is the good thing. If you're ever like up at night, you're like, going, gosh, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't get to sleep. Maybe pop on CaseyExplosion. There's a good chance you're probably there and playing a game and having a nice chat. You might not the game. What kind of games do you normally play? Because sometimes they can be a bit like you're playing Doom, that kind of thing. You know, a big
Yeah,
sometimes a bit grim, not grim, because grim isn't the word I want to use. Like, but if
visceral,
you go,
bloody.
yeah, you go like,
Yeah,
gosh, this doesn't seem like a very chill. And you go, oh, actually, this is lovely. This is nice. you know,
yeah. People have commented that I can make anything seem chill,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's like
The Doom
I
one was
I
strange, where it's
was
like
it?
rip and tear, and it's like, so
Yeah,
we're having a nice chat today. it's like,
yeah. No, I loved streaming that. That was
that was
that was a
good.
lot of fun because I never finished Doom when I first played it, and I wasn't a huge fan. This is the
I'm the
2016
same.
Doom
Yeah,
now.
I liked it, but I
It's
didn't finish it like at
it's
all.
Yeah, so I decided
Yeah.
to come back to it and finish it,
Mm,
and I had a much better time with it the second
mhm.
time around. So I,
Yeah.
I, I liked that a lot.
Okay. Maybe I'll give it another
But
go.
it, I think it was just like I was a bit dedicated to giving it more of a go this time around. So I
Yeah.
was just like,
I think as well
and
when you're on stream, you're like,
I
oh, I'll
pump
finish
pump
it.
up pump the difficulty up and just keep at it,
Yeah.
and because a lot of like one thing that I will praise Doom 2016 for is there's a lot of great level design, there's a lot of great like secrets hidden around. And
Yes. Yeah.
I have a phenomenally good time with these kinds of games when there's like, oh, there's stuff to explore, there's stuff to find and secrets to uncover.
Mhm.
I'm very switched on to that. And I think it's a different ethos entirely to what in the decade or so prior to that
Yeah.
became the common first person shooter. You have like
Yeah.
a lot of military shooters with very kind of like truncated routes. It was very explosive. It was
Yeah.
cutscenes. It was and it was very.
Whereas Doom 2016 almost I mean, it's famously makes fun of that kind of stuff. Where it's like there's no cutscenes, he literally pushes the
Yeah,
plot aside at the start.
yeah.
It's like we're getting to
I,
the shooting quick.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I think why. So we're seeing a huge retro shooter boom at the moment, and and I think it's because people got very, very tired with the mainstream
Yeah.
AAA side of video games that
Hmm.
was pushing a lot of. It was always trying to be the next Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So you have annual sequels, your Calls of Duty, Medal of Honor,
Yeah.
Battlefield, and a lot of games trying to get in on that.
Yeah.
And so the entire genre of shooter just became truncated into this, first person shooters,
Yeah.
very, very,
Samey.
very samey,
Yeah.
very pro American
Yeah.
military, and
It was a
it's
bit
like
strange. Yeah.
I got
There's
I think after Battlefield 3, I got so turned off the entire thing.
mm,
It was like yeah, so you've got a lot of kind of like games that were before that, the Dooms, the Quakes,
yep.
Blood, Hexen,
Wolfenstein.
all these. Wolfenstein,
Yeah.
Exhumed was a favorite of mine, the
Oh, I don't know
Duke
that one though.
3D, everything.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
In all
Exhumed was
different like
fantastic.
what's that one though?
It had an Egyptian theme to it, so you were kind of
Oh,
like some Indiana Jonesy type
okay.
somebody who crashed landed at their plane or something. I can't remember the plot at all, but it
Wasn't
was
there
very
like
cool.
another one where it's like something Danger or something, and it was kind of like Duke Nukem, but I can't remember what it was now. I think who was playing it? I think LGR or something was playing it before, and never mind. This is a pointless. I got off my head.
No,
You don't even remember it, Michael. But anyway, but yeah, there's a lot, and it is a bit strange. It's like well, you could have it that it's demons being released on Mars, or you could have something that's very samey. I don't know. Why would you want it? Why wouldn't you just go crazy? Just have like a bunch of crazy stuff happening. You know?
it's not even that. It's just like you had all these different kind of like design ethoses,
Yep.
and there's wild kind of level design, and so I think what happened was there's a lot of genres
Yeah.
just got streamlined into very 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 much the same thing. The mainstream gaming, the AAA scene industry kind of became very very focused on making that one mega hit.
Yeah.
And it became like like in the 2000s, everybody was trying to jump on the MMO, the World of Warcraft.
Yes.
So, and it's like,
where they know.
I sadly it killed off a lot of stuff. Like, remember there was the Legacy of Kain games, and they tried to make an MMO out of that, and franchise killer.
Do you think that I always think though with the MMOs, and it's just on literally always online game for folks who don't know, and I think I was like, you're paying so much for a full game. It's like that game might be gone in like 2 years. That doesn't take off. That's the thing that I always worry about.
Oh yeah, that's why I've played games where that happens. I played the Warhammer MMO for a while, and I was like, this sucks.
I didn't know there was a Warhammer MMO. How would that work? I guess it would work. What am I saying?
Yeah, it was
all in together.
It was a classic Warhammer kind of.
Oh, okay.
And I tried that for a while. And I was like, this just wants to be another World of Warcraft, and it's like, so every big franchise had every big studio wanted their Call of Duty. They wanted the annualized sequels. They wanted so you had a lot of disparate game genres. They were either shelved entirely or retooled to be something they never intended to be. And so you had a lot of stealth games just pushed to the side. It was the whole immersive sim genre kind of just So what we're seeing over the last decade then, with a lot of indie games, a lot of smaller studios, a lot of the Kickstarter kind of crowdfunded games, is that we're seeing a huge resurgence of genres that had more or less disappeared. Gaming, the mainstream gaming, had become very truncated and homogenized. And everything had to be the Castlevania franchise had to become God of War, and I'll still say the Lords of Shadow Castlevania was still a very good game, but it wasn't a good Castlevania game.
I don't think I would play it. It sounds like no, I don't like this. I don't like it. No,
it's a good game.
Yeah,
it's a good game. But it became this very linear action game that just copied God of War, and it was like, everything you loved about the previous Castlevania games was just filtered out and gone.
But Enos, did Dracula at one point turn to you and say, "You're a miserable pile of secrets"? Because that's all I want from a Castlevania. Well, then it's no good. It's a bad Castlevania game.
But now you've got the likes of Hollow Knight, which would do the whole genre a lot better than it had seen in years.
Yep.
So we have these explosions of very creative
And very
games
popular
in
as well. Like they're independent, but they're really, really popular. Like Shovel Knight and all these other games.
yeah,
These people that made it on their own. They said, "Hey, this is what we're doing. If you want to fund this,"
hmm,
and didn't go to a company. Went to the public and said, "If you want to fund this, give us some of your money, and we'll make the
yeah,
game." And it comes out and it's fantastic. That doesn't happen all the
yeah.
time, but
No,
when it does, it
doesn't.
it works well.
I think there's a
Game
lot of
development
the
is tough.
times, a lot of times, you'll only hear about Kickstarted games that were failures.
Yep.
And there's a lot of games, like you mentioned, Shovel Knight was a
Yep.
Kickstarter.
Hmm.
There's a lot of really, really good games that people forget were Kickstarter or never knew that were Kickstarted
Hmm.
in the first place. Like Undertale has become this huge sensation.
Yep.
It's a massive, massive game.
Hmm.
That was backed on Kickstarter, you know?
Wow. Like,
That was funded on Kickstarter. So
yeah.
yeah, people love a lot of games that they don't realize were crowdfunded at
I
all.
tell you what
FTL
it
was
feels like.
crowdfunded.
Sorry, what was crowdfunded?
FTL.
What's that?
Oh, it's like a little star spaceship kind of
Okay.
combat
I said
thingy.
FTL. It's like here's a bunch of swears, and I was like, oh no, is it like that? No, no,
Oh no, faster than
no.
light.
Oh,
Sorry.
fast and oh no, no. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought it was like a funny name or something. It's like it's
No,
F
sorry.
the Laddies or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
No, but right. Okay. Oh, that's I've never heard that game. Now that's kind of cool. But what was gonna say there? But yeah, so is that your dog? I
Where?
could hear there. I thought I heard your dog earlier on as well, barking or something.
Oh, there was a dog outside. Yeah.
All right.
My dog is very quiet at the moment. She's down. She's sleeping. Do you want to
Oh,
see?
yeah. It'd be great
Hang
for the
on.
listeners.
Yeah. Out you come. Out you come. Come on. Up, up, up.
Oh, he's so cute.
This is the little baby. Hello.
Oh, hello.
So she sleeps under the desk whenever I'm streaming or things like
Yes,
that.
yes.
She's very, very attached and she always
Yeah.
has to be with me. So she has her own bed
Oh,
just under my desk. So she's her own
oh.
little nook.
What was your dog's name again? This is
Kiki.
Kiki. I was right. I thought it was that. And I was like, don't get the dog's name wrong. But
That's
yeah,
okay.
there you go. Here, there we go. Oh, but you've little emote and everything on your Twitch stream as well, actually as well.
Yeah, it's a little Kiki emote.
Yeah. But this is the thing though, with like independent games and stuff. Now you were talking about independent games on Jim Stephanie Sterling's YouTube video. But
Yeah,
you'd mostly play, but it's not always independence, but you play a lot of independent games on your Twitch
yeah,
stream as well. They seem more fun as well. Not to say that AAA games aren't fun, but I feel like I was gonna say like, oh, there's more love. It's like, nah, there's a lot of love going into independent or full-time games as well. But I think they
yeah,
can take more chances with an independent game than you could with a big because a lot of money gone into a big funded game, you know?
yeah.
And it's a lot of a lot
Well,
of
I think it
writing.
was like there is the pressure like for a lot of the AAA scene
Yeah,
to be the next Call of Duty, the
that's the
next
thing. Yeah,
worldwide franchise,
yeah,
and you have shareholders and things that are always
that's
trying
it.
to like have you know like drum up more profit, so
Yeah.
they always have to top the
They're looking at the
last
bottom
year's
line.
profits.
That's this. Yeah.
And what you're seeing is like with a lot of the microtransactions, the predatory
Yeah.
monetization of gambling mechanics that are being plugged into these games
Mm-hmm.
in often very sinister ways.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get they're trying to bleed the audiences that's already there because they're not
Yep.
growing like a franchise might be doing okay.
Yeah.
Like there was controversies about like however many millions of sales was considered a failure
Yeah. Yeah.
because they like Dead Space, for
Yeah.
example, it needed to have so many million copies sold,
Yeah.
and it sold millions,
Millions. I bought one.
but
Yeah.
it wasn't millions enough for
It's
what the
wild.
shareholders wanted.
Yeah.
And
You'd
so
wonder, do
like
they even know like what's a popular game? It's like, guys, we've sold
it
like
doesn't
4
matter what's
million, and they're
pop
like, no, we
it
need
does
27
doesn't
million. It's
matter.
like, what are you talking about? It's
They
bonkers.
want it monetized
Yeah.
even more. So like even though the audience isn't exactly growing, like, a game can be successful,
Mhm.
have a big audience,
Yeah.
but they want a bigger turnaround the
Yeah.
next year. So
Yeah.
it comes along. There's microtransactions, there's gambling mechanics,
That's it.
there's battle passes and everything. Like
Yeah.
it's they're squeezing more from trying to squeeze more profit from the same audience,
Yeah.
and it's really it's terrible.
Yeah.
It really really messes with a lot of
Yeah.
game design as well, because
Yeah.
a lot of it is geared around frustrating the player into paying for
Yeah.
stuff they wouldn't be otherwise inclined to,
Yeah.
and it's
It's
very
getting weird.
mm,
I wouldn't be surprised in
I,
like a couple of years if it was allowed to keep going, where you're playing an RPG, you go into a tavern, it's like, okay, well, it'll be 5 actual money, please. It's like, wait, what? Put in your credit card. It's like, wait a second, are you serious? You know?
it's not too far from
No.
the truth. I
But it
mean,
seems it
like,
seems like things are slightly turning around now a little bit more and more governments are like coming out and saying like this isn't okay. Like you can't just do this. Like that's
it's
not okay
gambling.
to
This
do. Yeah,
is
it's gambling.
quite a lot of the times they're just gambling, but into
Yeah,
games. Like,
yeah,
whereas you might have a favorite character in a game, and you get alternative costumes and
yep.
things like that
That's the thing. Yeah,
from playing the game.
yeah,
But now you have loot boxes, and you've got a chance to get the costume you want. Just a
yeah,
small chance. Might be nice. You know,
yeah,
but you gotta pay for a loot box.
yeah,
And you might get it. You might not. You might not get something you're completely
yeah.
uninterested in.
That's the thing. It's a complete.
And
I don't know.
it's gambling.
Yeah, I don't know how it's been allowed
It's
to carry on as long as it has. People go, oh, it's like for the
people
bottom
don't.
line, and it's like, no.
Yeah, but people don't realize it's happening.
Yeah,
And like they see, oh, kid spends their entire
yeah,
family's savings in
yep.
Fortnite, and they kind of like,
Mm.
wow, that's an outlier. It's not. It's
No,
happening
no.
in
Yep,
lots more games
yep,
in little ways. And
yep.
so as a streamer, as an influencer,
Yep.
I refuse flat out to kind of like, I will not promote,
Mhm.
recommend,
Yeah.
or stream games that have predatory monetization. I won't
Yeah.
do it because I know people. I've been affected myself with getting into loops where you're not enjoying the game anymore, but
No.
you keep going because
There's a chance you. It's the addictiveness. That's what it is.
yeah,
The
it's
praise on it, like yeah,
yeah, and like it's not in a like a lot of games can be very engaging in a lot of good ways, and
yep,
this is like they kind of take a lot of the psychological tricks from the gambling industry.
mm,
And yeah, so I have a hard time expressing just how horrible it is, and
yeah,
I refused. Like the only way I think I can really make any sort of difference myself is to take myself out of that completely
yeah.
and flat out refuse to
Well,
recommend
that's what's good about independent
or
games
promote.
because,
Yeah,
well, unless there's like an outlier, I haven't
there's
come
quite a
across
few
any.
outliers,
Oh,
sadly.
okay. Well,
There's
I
some
mean, more
indie
often
games
than
that
not,
are
there's like it's you're getting what you're getting, and what I was
yeah.
gonna say earlier on was with independent games. what's weird is it's the same thing that happened with, and I hope it doesn't go the same way with him, but in the 80s and 90s, a load of independent films.
Yeah.
And it was like the treasure trove, I don't know what I was going to say, but a load of them. And that's what's happening now because we were like, okay, we've had the mainstream, we've had not mainstream, whatever you want to call it, the mainstream, yeah. We've had the big popular games. We'd like something that's very niche, like I want a Toxic Avenger. I don't want Superman. I want something. I don't know, whatever. You don't want the everything. So you get it with independent games. You get it where people are taking chances. You get people that are like doing something a bit weird, maybe.
Well, it's like what I was saying. Like a lot of genres just became homogenized
Yeah.
through the last couple of decades,
Mhm.
and we just don't see like as much of a variety of
Yeah.
genres. A lot of franchises being shelved and things like that. So what a lot of the smaller developers
Yeah.
are doing is they're completely reinvigorating older genres that just have
Yeah.
not seen
And actually
their
probably bringing more people into gaming because a lot of people are like,
hmm,
it looks all the same. It's all these shooter things. But now it's like, oh, here's a nice little sprite going around the place and traveling this world, and it's a bit challenging. And I kind of like that. Or it's a little girl, like Celeste or something going around, and it's a bit challenging. It's
oh,
kind of
Celeste
like
is
Super
so good.
Mario. I've never played. I'm very bad at games. I'm very terrified of it.
Do you know
But
what, Celeste?
yeah.
If you're bad at games, Celeste has great accessibility options.
Oh,
So you
cool.
can, yeah, you can kind of tweak things to make it a little more
Yeah.
easier for you in specific ways.
Yeah.
Now, I loved the game, and I didn't do that because I
Yeah.
like, if you've ever watched my streams,
Yep.
I really love
Very
tough
tough games. Yeah.
games, and what I especially love is failure, and I will constantly keep doing the same thing over and over again until I get
Yeah.
it right, because I love, just like, I get into this kind of like this nice rhythm with it,
It
and
is fun
Celeste
to
is a
watch
fan.
actually, where you come
Hmm.
across something, you're like, all right, I'm gonna keep going, and you keep at it, and it makes you think, I'm gonna actually keep at stuff. If something hits me in life, I'm gonna be like Casey fighting that big monster in Sekiro or whatever game, whatever it is. And there was monsters in Sekiro, wasn't there?
Yeah, pretty much.
There was.
There was
So
a few
I was
monsters,
like,
yeah.
there was guys that were fighting? It's like, no, there was monsters. So, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna let that challenge go. I'm gonna be like, Case, I'm gonna keep at that monster and keep at it and keep going. And it's
Yeah.
very, very good to watch that kind of thing.
For context, if you've never seen me play games on stream, Sekiro is a
Yes.
very tough game. It's a very
Yep.
challenging game, and
They made Dark
so
Souls, wasn't it?
yeah,
So
so
it's like
yeah,
the Dark
same.
Souls of sorry. That's a meme. I think on the last
It's
couple of years of eating off
it's
folks.
it's even harder than Dark
Yeah.
Souls. It is, but so to give the listener
Yep.
context for this, what I would do for an entire stream is, and this could be 3, 4, 5, 6 hours
Yes.
of nothing
Yes.
but attempting the same boss over
Hmm.
and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I was having the best time with it.
And we were all like hyping you up. We're like, this is great. You're gonna do it this time. You're gonna get it next time.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant to watch it. She was great. And you're having a chat as well. And it's not just like
Yeah.
people at home are going, that sounds a bit boring, the same thing over. But you're having a chat, the conversations going, I'm gonna go at it this way, and I'm gonna go at it this way, and I'm gonna try something new. And it's it's really
Yeah,
fun to
it's
watch.
it's just so, I got into such a fantastic, like, this just chill. I loved it. I absolutely
That's
loved it because I was
actually
just
something I
coming
want to
back
talk about,
in.
actually, is even like I would be swearing, I'd be sweating. You're there, and it's like, all right, we're gonna try this again. And it's like, just keep your cool the whole time. I know how you do it. I'm like,
It's
I
it's wonderful. Because
yeah,
my whole ethos is like, I'm not good at these games, but I persevere until I
great.
learn the patterns, and it's like,
Yeah.
it's all about, discovering the patterns and
Yeah.
things like that. There's a lot of exploration to
Yeah.
these games, and I think that comes across in the
Hmm.
fighting as well. So it's kind of like you're learning this dance
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
just getting the patterns down, and it's like it just feels amazing
Yeah.
to kind of go up against something that hits you so hard you don't know what, like you, it's
Yeah.
like it feels
That's
insurmountable.
that's the appeal of the Monster
And
Hunter games, isn't it? Where
I think
Monster,
so.
yeah, I
I
think so.
haven't played those.
Oh, but that was when I played it. I
So
was like, oh, okay, I get this. Yeah, it's like
hmm,
I gotta learn. I got to follow along, as you're saying. Like, yeah. So it's like you're learning a dance, as you were saying. Sorry,
yeah.
it's saying the same like
And
that.
I keep saying on my streams sometimes, like, defeat is its own reward.
Yeah.
I love tough challenges, and
Yeah.
there is like it goes back to the whole thing of how I don't relate to or enjoy a lot of the angry, aggressive
Yeah.
kind of streamers
No.
who are very aggro, and it's like it's
Yeah.
not only is it not, it's not how I enjoy games.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people can kind of get that same vibe where,
Mhm.
and I'm like it's a great kind of reassuring kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can do the thing. You can overcome. You will muddle through, and it's a wonderful experience, and I love sharing that with people as well. You can get a
Yeah.
lot of enjoyment out of it.
Well, I think that's a great place to stop, actually. Where we could,
Okay.
yeah, you can get through it, folks at home. So this has been Case Explosion on with me. And Casey, if people want to follow you on social media and on everything, how do they do that? Where did they go?
Twitch.tv/CaseyExplosion,
Mhm.
all one word.
Yep. And on Twitter, it's at Casey Explosion. Yeah.
At CaseyExplosion.
There we
Yeah.
go. All right. So definitely do go on and watch Casey on Twitch. Absolutely lovely time every single time. You probably see me in the chat a little bit. Then I'll be like, okay, it's 10:30. I've got to go to sleep now because I got to sleep very early actually. But no, but Casey's fantastic. And oh yeah,
Thank
the
you.
other thing I wanted to ask you as well was you raised money for charity not that long ago as well, which was the charity as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh, you got a few. Yeah, that's right. There was a big one though, a while back. It was a school or something, I think, had lost funding, or something. It was an organization in Ireland or something that had lost funding.
LGBT Resource
Yeah,
Centre
that
here
was it.
in
Yeah,
here in Galway
that was it. Yeah,
was going to lose their premises,
that was it. Yeah.
and that sadly happened with COVID. But we kept them open for another year.
Okay. It is
So
something definitely that we need in Ireland anyway, definitely. And it's amazing it's even that organization was even around, in this country. Whereas like you look back 10 years ago nearly only, you've got that's unthinkable. You know what I mean?
mm,
So it's fantastic what turnaround we've had in the country in relation to LGBTQIA folks.
yeah.
Anyway, Casey, I'm gonna leave you go. Thank you so much for talking to me on today's show. We've gone over, this is probably the longest interview I think I've done, as an hour and a half nearly. But I think anyway. But right, anyway, thank
That's
you,
my
kid.
fault because I'm very slow answering.
No, it was fantastic. It was all great. Anyway, thank you again. This has been Michael Musso here on Western 102 FM. Back after this. So I'm just gonna stop.